printed off this little roller. So it's a 9mm outside diameter. The hole through the middle of it, inside diameter, is 5, and I've pressed in 2 bearings, which is 5 OD, 2 ID, and I believe they're 3mm wide as well. So this roller itself is 6mm, so I'm able to put one bearing in one side and one bearing in the other, bottom up, and that would fit nicely into this fork. So the fork, the roller will go in between the fork like so, and that's held on by a M2/10 grub screw. So that turns really nicely, and the next thing to fit onto this bracket will be a spring. 46 coils, 8mm diameter. The thickness of the wire is 0.4mm, so it's quite a light spring, stretchy. So what I'll do is I'll attach this spring to this carriage, and I should be using a M2/8 socket head screw. The head of the M2 screw is recessed in, so it's a flush fitting. So we've got the spring attached. So the next thing is to attach the end of the flexi ribbon cable. So we've got the ribbon cable installed in each clip, and the next thing to do is to the other end of the spring, hook over that pin, thread the end of the wire through the gap behind the roller, and bring that back out again. As the arm expands out, the cable will be held tight. Then when the arm is retracted back in again, the spring pulls the cable back to its neutral position. So that's how that system works. So that means that we've got 7 wires. Well, we've actually got 8 on this ribbon cable, because they're spaced at 0.5mm apart. But that's the action that will happen inside as the arm is extended and retracted. So what we can do next is to connect the other adapter board onto the end of this one. This is only a test cable really, because it's not quite right. It's a little bit too long, and I need a reverse tags on it. So for now I'll connect it in this end. So it's just a case of feeding the end in and then pushing the little black latch over, and it's locked in. So I'll carry out some tests now. So what we can do is to put battery across 1 and 7, and we should expect to see the motor turning, which means that that circuit's good. We can check for the potentiometer by checking resistances across the 3 terminals, so it's across 2, 3 and 4. And then we can also test the 2 yellow ones. We could actually connect to the solenoid up and make that snap in and out by putting power across 6 and 8. I'm going to connect power to pins 1 and 7, and we're looking out for a spinning top on the motor for the tilt. So if I go across 1 and 7, okay, we've got that circuit working. The next one will be 6 and 8, so we're looking for that solenoid to kick in. Okay, so we're throwing the solenoid in. That would be for the quick itch. Now we haven't got the potentiometer connected through yet, but we can check it out with the resistance meter. It should have 5k between 2 and 4. So if we're looking now at the meter across there, switch on, that's it. Right, we're looking at 5k across 2 and 4. Okay, and we've got 5.45. And if I go to pin 3, which is the wiper of the pot, we're getting 3.10 on one side, and go to the other side, 2.72. So we've got continuity between the pot and the adapter board. So we're actually going through the ribbon cable. I've got the new 200mm ribbon cable connected, and I've got him connected to the other end of the adapter. I've cleaned off the other connector there, which is the 1mm spacing, so I've taken that off and cleaned up the pads to make it a flat surface, and that is to mount the board onto the motor housing like so.